talk about Karmageddon. Hi guys, how are you? I hope you're well. Good. I guess the world, the internet seems to be a cesspool at the moment, but you know, as long as you're good, I'm good, we're all good, it's all good, basically. If this is your first time tuning in, hi, I'm Kez. I'm sure you can see many, many unicorns. Together that make Kez and unicorns. Enjoy that cringe factor for a moment. Today's featured unicorn is this little beauty who doesn't actually have a name, but I mean, someone got her made specially for me. So I want name recommendations in the comments. That's all I want in this video. Just comment cute unicorn names. Yay. And if you're interested, the wig is from Rockstar Wig.
Obvious.
I love them. There's a video, you can watch it. Okay, so let's talk about Karmageddon. Originally, I was not going to do a video on this. I mean, I thought I was, and then reflecting on it, I was like, Because the thing is that there feels like there is so much information, but at the same time, there's no information. Like Tati's 40-minute video where she didn't really say much. I mean, and Jeffree Star's not saying much, and Shane Dawson's being like majorly cancelled, which I'm kind of disgusted with the stuff that he's done. Now, the first thing that I want to mention about this whole thing is I'm still confused as to whether James Charles is guilty or not. I mean, I'm guessing not, but I don't know. No one's really answered that. By the way, if you hear a weird tapping noise in the background, just think of it as ASMR background noise, because my fiance is working from home still. Yay. Say hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Nice. Right, so I wasn't really sure what to say on this subject, and it's just very confusing to me because I don't think that Tati would apologise and make up with someone who was guilty of the things that we were told he was guilty of. So I'm a bit confused on that. So let me know what you think, because I'm lost. Oh, interestingly, not related to the point of this video at all, but someone recently mentioned an anime called Haikyuu. It's a volleyball one. I don't know what that is. I think that's more basketball, but I've just been watching a basketball anime. It's awesome. Anyway, Haikyuu, it's good. We're enjoying it. So thank you for that recommendation.
Nice.
Right, going back to the point of the video. So there is one key thing that I do want to focus on, because I still don't think it's getting enough attention. What's going on with Shane Dawson at the moment largely isn't to do with this. This seems to have been the straw that broke the camel's back, if you like. A lot of what's going on, I believe, is more to do with his older content resurfacing. Why his old content is resurfacing now, at this moment in time, I'm speculating that maybe Jeffree Star is doing that. If maybe he's been buddying up to Shane Dawson for a while and secretly having people go through his back catalogue, finding I can never talk. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be a YouTuber. So I'm speculating that it's Jeffree Star and he's had people going and looking at problematic videos from Shane Dawson's past and he's leaking them, because as we've learned from the last few years, very rarely does he do the takedown himself. He'll convince someone else to do it. And feeding maybe you as a drama channel, maybe you want to watch this video, maybe you guys in this group chat want to watch this video, and that seems like something that Jeffree Star would do. And I don't like that Shane Dawson seems to be getting more aggro than Jeffree Star is. I feel like Jeffree Star is managing to once again fly under the radar, and I don't agree with that. I do not agree with the content that's come out from Shane Dawson. I did tweet out that I didn't think it was right that people were calling him a predator, and then I went and actually educated myself on Shane Dawson's old content, and I can understand why people are saying that now, and I think that what he's done in the past is very problematic. I think he thought it was edgy and he just wanted to get views, but it's not edgy, and it was it was never okay. So I don't really know what to say on that. That's what it is. Anyway, I want to get into the main crux of this video, which is trigger warning. This video will be talking about suicide and explicit content. Viewer discretion is advised. Right, if you're still here, then let's do this. If we go back to Dramageddon in 2019, Tati released a video, a Bye Sister video, and what followed was a 19-year-old getting to a point where he was receiving so much hate over social media that he was close to taking his own life. Now, if you've seen my Gabby Hanna video, you'll know that what I'm trying to show here is a different perspective and a mental health perspective, but I'm not going the rewired soul route. I'm going my route.
I am
Well, that's just as fascinating as the first 89 times you told me that.
And I want us to really think about the fact that YouTube drama nearly resulted in a 19-year-old taking their own life. That is what I have the biggest problem with. Yeah, people can say that it was messed up. I can't get that song out of my head.
Is that the Bag of Goats song?
No, you say that every time.
Because it's hilarious.
But it's not Pumped Up Kicks. I don't know what it is. If anyone knows what the goat song is.
I was in a porno with a bag of steaming goats. That one.
That one. Can't...
Misheard lyrics.
Yeah, just comment. Thanks. Awesome. Very quickly, to explain to you where I'm coming from, I am someone who has attempted suicide myself. A couple of years ago, I actually flatlined, and if it hadn't been for my fiance, I would have died. So, yeah. I also recently had an overdose situation, but it wasn't anywhere near as bad. My mum committed suicide when I was 15 years old. She was a psychiatric nurse, and she died on her third suicide attempt. My dad was never around, and it left me with a lot of problems. A couple of years ago, I also had a friend commit suicide while in a psychiatric hospital, and my mum was in a psychiatric hospital when she committed suicide as a patient. So that left me with a lot of hurt and a lot of scars and a lot of trauma, and I have many mental health tags, and I do have issues with self-harm, so I'm a bit messed up, okay? Like, I'm a messed up human being. I accept it, I acknowledge it, and I'm doing my best to try and work on it. And the unicorns in anime brought me back to life. So, yeah, I obviously am going to have quite a strong bias towards the fact that this person was pushed to suicide thanks to cancel culture. Yay! If you haven't checked out my Gabby video, please do. It's not meant to be...
Gabby doesn't need to take accountability for anything.
No, it's humanizing her. It's just talking about mental health not being what I would consider tea. Okay? That's the view on that. If you want to check out my other one, which is on cancel culture, and I look at Caroline Flack and her suicide and all of that jazz. I'll add those cards in. But let's focus on this. In this case, these are not even young adults that caused this. They're people in their 30s. And I think we need to really focus on that for a moment. Because Tati said in her video that, okay, first up, why didn't she try and talk to James in private? Like, this is... I can't get over this basic question. I'm kind of like, why did you need to make a video and post it on your YouTube channel?
Why?
I mean, you could have equally made a video, put it under unlisted, and shared him the link privately if you couldn't get through to him any other way. So I'm a bit confused with why you felt the need to do that in the first place. This series is about people taking accountability. I am done with hypocrisy. I'm done with drama channels constantly thinking that they're not included in this accountability loop when they absolutely are. Anyone is accountable. Even me with my tiny platform, I am accountable. If I upset someone, that's my responsibility to listen to them, try and understand, empathize, and apologize. I don't get to turn around and say,
well, I wasn't mean to them.
You don't get to decide who you were mean to. The person that is upset by what you did gets to decide that. I digress. Tati, Shane, Jeffrey, all people in their 30s. James Charles, not a person in his 30s. Is this not a bit messed up? Why are these 30-year-olds trying to ruin some guy's life? Here's my thinking on this. 1. Did Shane and Jeffrey do this in the hope that it would provide them with enough drama for their docuseries, and they didn't expect it to go as far as it did?
Drama.
Or did they do this with the intent to ruin James's career? Or did they do this in the hopes that it would lead to his suicide and then they could do an expose on cancel culture?
Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks.
I know that last one's a bit deep, but considering some of the stuff that Jeffrey has done in the past, it's my personal opinion, okay? Like, I would like to hope that they were not even considering that it would go as far as it did. But I also think that when you are a person in your 30s, you are not, you know that there is a chance. They must have known there was a chance it was gonna lead to James ending up in the situation that he did, or worse. And the fact that they didn't think that through, I think is really, that's what makes me wonder if they actually hoped it was going to push him over the edge. And one of the reasons I say that is because if they did it for drama for their show, when it got to a point where James was suicidal, they still didn't come out. They still didn't drop it. They still didn't apologize. They still didn't take accountability. And at that point, they could have said,
yeah, it was messed up. We thought it would be good drama for the series, but we never thought for a moment that cancel culture and mob mentality would feed into this and that it would end up where it did.
They never took accountability at that point. In fact, even now, they're still not taking accountability. They're still not owning up to it. Do I think there's a chance that Tati is lying? Yes, I do. I think there is a chance that Tati is lying. In her video where she gave her statement, she didn't provide us with any new information. And what she did do immediately was pass the blame onto the 2 other adults that were involved. And she did that when Shane was already being cancelled. So do I think there is a chance that what she said isn't honest and that she is trying to push the blame? Yes. Because the other problem is that Tati can say she was gaslit, she can say she was manipulated, that she was hearing bad things, that she was worried for James's freedom. But Tati, you're a grown-ass woman. You didn't answer why you didn't talk to him in private. You didn't answer why you felt the need to do a massive thing on YouTube where you plugged your vitamins for most of it. You also said that the day before filming, you messaged Shane and said that you were worried about James's life, his reaction to it. And you said that Shane responded with,
He's too narcissistic to kill himself. Don't worry about the 51st
50-second
floor.
But you still posted the video. So how worried were you really? Because if I was genuinely worried that me making a video on someone was going to lead to them potentially jumping off of a balcony, I'd be doing everything I could to not make that video. I would be resisting making that video. I would be trying to get through to James privately or through, I don't know if you guys have like lawyers or managers or whatever. Not going,
Oh yeah, I'm worried that this person might, kill themselves if I post this video. But I'm gonna do it anyway.
No. I'm sorry, but I don't think you can, as a 30-something-year-old woman, no. You cannot push all of the blame from the result, what happened as a result of that video, onto Shane and Jeffree, because you're actually older than them. And I do understand being gaslit and manipulated, and it's not okay. I recently had a conversation where I feel very much that they tried to manipulate me the entire way through. So I get it, but I'm also old enough to take responsibility and accountability for my own actions. Smokey Glow said this in her video too, that Tati seemed to be deflecting a lot of the blame and almost painting herself as a victim as much as James was. And yes, if you are told a whole bunch of lies that make you worried for someone, I get it, but you can't have thought much of him in the first place if you genuinely believed what you were being told. You didn't talk to him about it, and I have this personal thing. Being someone with BPD, I have relationships are difficult for me, and I have this thing that if someone is going to tell me that someone that I love or know did something, you better know I'm going to talk to that person about it. I'm going to say,
I heard this piece of information, is it true?
Or in some cases I might say, no, I absolutely don't believe that, because there is no way that this person would do that, because that's what trust is. I know, it's amazing. Trust. An idea of trust. What is trust these days? Is trust a receipt? Is trust a feeling? Is it an emotion? What is it? Because if you let yourself get pushed to the point where you were happy posting a video knowing that you were worried that your friend could potentially take his own life, you don't get to push all the blame onto someone else. Take accountability for your own actions there.
Basically, an adult woman claims that she was worried that one of her closest friends might end his life when he saw the video she was making, and after sharing that with another friend, she still decided to post said video. How can you say you're worried about a person's life, then proceed to hurt them in one of the grossest ways imaginable, and then think you can push the blame onto someone else?
Equally, when it reached that point, we have to look at cancel culture for a second. So everyone took Tati's word for it, and almost instantaneously, James Charles lost millions of subscribers. People were sending him hate. People believed everything they were told, even though there was no proof, there were no receipts. And James got to a point of suicide. And at no point did Tati come forward. At no point did Tati or Shane or Jeffree, but I'm focusing on Tati because she did, no matter what she says, she did, even if she was manipulated, she was still the person that made that video.
You talking to me?
And posted that video.
Well, I'm the only one here.
Like, she also said the only reason that video went private was because YouTube reached out to her and asked her. So even when James was in the midst of being cancelled and being suicidal, she didn't think it was worth removing the video. Even when he was getting loads and loads of hate comments, she didn't feel the need to say, stop sending hate to him. He's young, he made a mistake, but he needs to be able to learn and grow from them. And at no point did anyone else come forward and say, stop. Yet now, I'll see a targeted harassment on Twitter and people calling for a certain YouTuber to take accountability for it. So where was that accountability in the midst of Dramageddon?
Say what?
Also, if we look at cancel culture, it is the idea that we like to consume tea, and we watched Tati's video and we believed, and I say we as in, the internet, we watched it, we decided to believe it, and we started sending hate to James, which if he was a genuine predator, maybe he should be held accountable, but no one questioned it. And so I can understand Shane and Jeffree not coming forward if maybe they were genuinely worried that they'd gone too far. I'm not taking anything away from them, it's just right now I want to focus on this because I think this is something that we really need to learn from it, which is we now want everyone to be held accountable, including Tati, because she did do it, and Shane and Jeffree, if they did do that, they need to be held accountable for it. And Jeffree needs to be held accountable for it just as much as Shane does. All three of them need to be held accountable for it. they all need to publicly apologize to James, and I think we know that. And anyone that may have sent him hate at that time, you need to ask yourself if you think you need to apologize, because you might think,
well, it's just one tweet, you know, it's little old me, it's not going to make an impact.
but if you're someone getting flooded with hate comment, every single one, it's like an extra, like, death from 1,000 cuts type thing. And okay, let's talk drama channel accountability for a second. The point of T channels is to provide you with, this is what's going on, or this is what might be going on, blah blah blah, and it's for the viewer to decide how they want to interpret that information and what they do with it. However, as I said earlier, if we look at journalism,
Or anyone else in the street, and you're not gonna stop there.
and I have compared drama channels to journalists. If a journalist prints something that at the time they believe to be true, when it then is proven to them that it was wrong, they have to write a retraction. So this is my call to all drama channels. All drama channels! All drama channels! All drama channels! Where's your retraction? Where's your video publicly apologising to James Charles for your part in it, for taking the information, reporting on it, and providing that information that led to James Charles being in a position where he felt suicidal to millions of people? Now, I'm not saying you're anywhere near as accountable for the situation as the mastermind, but I think you should retract. I think you should publicly apologise, not just say, now we know that it wasn't real. No, you need to say, I am sorry, James Charles, that I perpetuated lies about you to my fan base, and I quite possibly profited off of those lies, which at the time I genuinely believed to be true. I'm sorry. That's it. That's all we need from you, drama channels. Do that. And then go and find the videos with those lies, with that false information, and remove them. To me, that would be drama channels standing up and taking accountability for the role that they had in this. Because however much you might want to say,
Oh my god, it's so gross that Shane, Jeffrey, Tati, that they did this thing to this guy.
they couldn't have done that to James. They couldn't have pushed him to the point of suicide if it hadn't been for drama channels sharing what they believed to be truth at the time to their fans and their social media. And they couldn't have pushed James to that point if the fan base hadn't believed it and decided to send hate to James. So that's the accountability that I want to see. I want to see everyone, drama channels, followers, other creators that might have spoken about the rumours, fueled the fire, stoked the coals, however you want to say it. Everyone. Apologising to him. And he might not need that, and I don't think he does. I think he knows how bad people feel, because of course he does, because I would imagine that, you know, if I had partaken, which one is it? Partaken.
Nope.
Well, does it not depend on the context? I think you're pretty good at making up new words anyway, so just go with whichever you think feels right.
If I had chosen to partake in that at the time, I would have tweeted out an apology. But I didn't, because I don't think I even knew who any of these people were when that happened. Genuinely. I've always used YouTube as like a search thing.
Okay, boomer.
And it was only in the last year or so that I actually started subscribing to channels and actually watching content by creators instead of just using it as a search engine.
Just, what do you want, a fucking medal?
So when I found out about the bi-sister scandal, it was already over.
Sure, Jan.
Like, James had already started gaining subscribers back, so I didn't have a hand in that. But now we have
Karmageddon.
And even if my channel is small, if my platform is small, I want this platform to stand as, I want it to represent who I am and how I feel. And I feel like, even if some of you want to say that the tone of this channel is
Cringy.
which I feel that. I feel that right here. I love you 3000. I want to give a different perspective. I want to use this platform to say these things, even if no one is listening. All drama channels! All drama channels! And I think, sorry sister. Maybe we should go with sorry sister. Let's get that trending. Let's really show James Charles that we're sorry. Because we should be sorry for the hate that we sent him at the time. And I do want to see sorry sister trending, and I do want to see creators apologizing. The YouTube community is kind of imploding. And I think in order to keep because we have to remember as well, it was not just these people that were affected. You may have been affected. Your friends may have been affected. Your family.
Your enemies
Might have been affected. Like, I want the YouTube community to remain or to be a safe place for creators to share ideas. And I don't want to see creators harassing creators. And I don't want to see them completely destroying the beauty community or even the entire YouTube community.
I don't want to see that.
And I think sorry sister could be a great way to show that this community is willing to learn and grow, just like any human or any living organism is able to learn and grow, and to come together as a community and take accountability together. Because it doesn't always have to be us versus them. It can be we're all sorry. Is that cringy? Also, you thought I was done, didn't you? You thought I was all done and finished? No. I wanted to mention here that, of course, I want to see an apology or proof of the lies from Shane and Jeffree.
Like, seriously, Jeffree has apologized. Where's Shane's though?
Yeah, and a lot of people are speculating as to who is going to come out with a video next. Like, Gabby Hanna got rid of her social medias. Is she going to, and sent out something saying, you know, if anything happens to me, which is, it was quite dramatic. let's just say that. So is she going to come out with a video? You know, and there were a lot of people trying to figure out, you know, which members, like, is Nikki Tutorials going to come out with a video? Was it Jeffree Star that was blackmailing her that led her to coming out as trans to everyone? You know, there's a lot of speculation at the moment as to who's basically going to be the next bomb that explodes on this platform. I don't really see why we need to see that. I don't really think that cancel culture is something that we should be idolizing or something that we should be feeding into.
Repeat after me. Cancel culture. Bad.
I think we should find ways to say no, actually. Like, let's all just apologize for our part, accept the apologies of the others, and move on. But don't misunderstand me. If Shane and Jeffree did what they did, which it's not looking good, they don't get to just come together as part of this. Like, we're sorry, but we accept your apology. No. They need to be held accountable for it. And I know that Shane has had his book taken down. His products aren't being sold on Morphe. His channels have been demonetized. I was watching Angelica Oles because I like her channel. And she mentioned the idea of Shane doing a sort of documentary on, like, his return. You know, him, like, taking penance and feeling his way through it and understanding the true damage that his actions caused, coming out of it a better, brighter person. Wholesome content. He could do that. Logan Paul's channel was remonetized only 3 months after the Japan suicide forest fiasco. I didn't actually know who Logan Paul was at the time, but I heard about it and I was just like, what? I don't understand a lot of the things that people do on YouTube. I don't understand why they do it. And I don't understand what the hell these two 30-year-olds or 3 30-year-olds had to gain from putting a teenager through what they did. We need to hear from them. Did they do it? If they did it, why did they do it? And how do they plan on making it right? Are they going to donate loads of money to suicide charities or mental health charities, or I don't know, film a documentary about themselves, making themselves better people. I don't know, but we need to know, and I think we need to know why they did it. Was their intention just to get a little bit of drama and it went too far and then they were like, oh shit, we don't know what to do now? Or was it more malicious than that? And I think either way here, I mean, obviously if it was more malicious than that, then you could potentially make an argument that it was attempting to, we have a law in the UK which is malicious communication. Basically, it's to try and counteract cyberbullying and trolling and things like that. So if anyone speaks to you online in a way that is clearly, like, if they know that you maybe have mental health issues and they purposely keep prodding at that and poking at that, or if they like take the piss out of you for having like disabilities, or if they're just genuinely so mean to you that it's very clear that there is malicious intent there that could potentially lead to you doing something drastic, you can actually take all of the screenshots, screen recordings, whatever, and send that to the police, and it will be logged as malicious communication. And then if something happens as a result, they would then have that information ready. It's still not really a great way to manage the fact that people online do have accountability for their actions. And I had some people in my Gabby Hanna video in the comments section. By the way, thank you for all of the comments. I think I replied to every single one of them, but you know, it was a lot of comments. But there were a couple of people that said they don't care about Gabby Hanna's mental health. They don't care if she wants to kill herself. And I kind of think that says more about you than it does about Gabby Hanna, because I don't think having a bit of empathy and a bit of compassion for fellow human beings is that problematic. It doesn't take anything away from what you might be going through, but isn't it nicer to put something a bit more positive into the world than... And I think trolls are... Oh, I don't really know what trolls are, but I'm doing a video on it. I'm researching it, okay? Part of me thinks it's about just being seen. Part of me thinks people might use it as a way to just take their anger and frustration out. And a lot of us forget that we are accountable for what we say and do online and the reactions that it might cause in others. I digress. So... if they did it with the intent to destroy James Charles's confidence or his career or anything, we need to know that. And if that's the case, we need to really start looking at creators on this platform, and we need to see why people that would do something like that are profiting so much off this platform. Because it's not something that most people would think of doing. You know, you don't need to drag someone down in order to succeed. If you're worried that they're going to be doing better than you, then, you know, be better yourselves. Work harder. Or just accept that you're different. There was no need for the Bi Sister scandal to happen, and it's not okay for Tati to try and push all the blame onto Shane and Jeffrey, even if she was manipulated. And it's not okay for drama channels to think they can just be like, yeah, so we now know that it's wrong, and not actually retract their statements, take those videos down and say sorry. And the same for every creator and every viewer that was led to believe that James was something that he wasn't. And obviously this is all taking the idea that James is innocent. As I said in my Gabby video, if it was to turn out that Gabby had planned a lot of the mental health stuff that I spoke about, I would be the first person to come out and say, disgusting! And it's the same here. If James is guilty, then is he actually guilty of predatory behaviour, or is he just a 19-year-old millionaire who maybe pushed it a little bit, and because he's who he is, he thought he could push it further, or people want to try and like sell stories on him. Like, there's so much that could be surrounding this and so much more to it. But the idea that everyone is partly responsible for the fact that James was suicidal, I think is something that is a message that I think needs to be shared on this platform. And I wasn't around, but like, I will say sorry to James Charles for the fact that, okay, no. I will say sorry to James Charles because the first time I learned who James Charles was through the Bi Sister scandal. As a result of that, I have only ever watched one video of James Charles, despite loving makeup. One video. Because I don't know who he is. I don't know the truth. Oh my god, I've got a dead leg. Oh my god, I can't do it. It's got, no, not that one, this one. Oh, thank you. Christ.
I'm not him.
Because I don't know who James Charles is. I don't know what to believe. Because I was brought in hearing, oh, this guy, yeah. And then he wasn't. And now is he again? I don't know. And it's meant that I've never really been able to fully appreciate or enjoy his content because I immediately question who he is, and I want to believe that he is a good person. And I hope that even if the way he might have spoken with people in the past maybe crossed a line to some people, I mean, let's also take into account that these were 30-year-olds, and as a fellow 30-year-old.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just...
Maybe the way teenagers and 20-year-olds date and talk and converse is different. And so there is also the chance that the way James speaks and communicates with potential love interests is different, and it was a big miscommunication. There's your best case scenario, is that us 30-year-olds are
Old.
and we need to accept that people communicate in different ways. So yeah, that's I'm trying to explain my thoughts and feelings around the situation and the way people have acted and treated James, as well as the other creators, as best as I can, while still trying to, for example, yes, I want to see Sorry Sister trending. I think that would be so beautiful. That trending hashtag is the answer. That's what we need. We need a united hashtag.
Imagine all the people tweeting Sorry Sister,
where we can just all do that. But I do have to preface it by saying that I am aware that there is more to this that we don't yet know. And obviously when more comes out, if more comes out, when more comes out, whichever, I will.
well, I'm doing just fine. I lied, I'm dying inside.
If I feel that it's something that I need to talk about further, then I will. Absolutely. And I hope that we can learn from this that we need to stop just believing the first person that speaks or the person with the biggest platform. Equally, the underdog or the little guy isn't necessarily always in the right. We need to stop basing our trust on receipts and which drama channel says what or which creator says what. And we need to start listening to what we believe based on the evidence that we've been provided. And, you know, if we like a creator and then that creator is in the middle of a scandal, we have to ask ourselves, do we believe that that creator is capable of it or not? Instead of just saying, well, I saw a receipt. Because receipts can be photoshopped, receipts can be cropped out. So that receipts don't automatically equal trust. And I think we need to remember that even if our favourite creators or whoever get caught up in scandals, that we need to stop being so aggressive. We need to stop shouting over each other on Twitter, trying to cancel this celebrity and that celebrity. We need to stop trying to tear people down constantly. And I'm hoping that this will help the community move on. Not this video. This set of events. We need to be free of creators being scared to speak out against other creators. For example, if Jeffree Star is blackmailing people and has a lot of dirt on people, 1, don't be a shitty human being in the first place. 2, come out with your story now. Take the power away. That simple. And, you know, get Sorry Sisters trending.
No.
Go do it over on Twitter. I am working on a sort of history and analysis of tea culture, as well as the evolution of trolling and what that really means from a kind of cultural perspective. So they're 2 big pieces that I'm working on at the moment, but I have quite a few smaller pieces that will be coming out quite regularly. I'm hoping to get much more regular with my uploads. So Yeah. We also shouldn't be weaponizing. Creators need to stop weaponizing fans too. It's natural if you like a creator to want to defend them. But there is a very big difference between defending and attacking. And I think that's another thing that we need to learn from this. But I have a video coming on that too. So that's the tea on that. I would love to hear your thoughts on the scandal. There is just a lot and nothing, and I'm very aware that I'm having to kind of go in a bit of a wishy-windy way with this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and do comment down below anything that you want to comment. Please try and be respectful about your comments. As I said, the last lot of comments I got were amazing. I responded to every single one as of right now. Yeah, I want to make something clear. If you don't agree with me, you don't need to apologise for not agreeing with me. Share your thoughts. That's fine. I want this to start a conversation. I'm not trying to say that I am the be-all and end-all and I am right about everything. I know I'm not. This is just my personal opinion and you're going to have yours. So, don't feel like you're going to hurt my feelings if you say, I watched your video, but I personally think this. That's fine. I'm absolutely fine with that. I encourage that. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, think about subscribing. Thank you to this beautiful little unicorn friend here for being the featured unicorn today. And I still want name suggestions, so don't forget those. And until next time, I will say arigatou gozaimasu, and keep unicorning. Bye!